Hello, Leo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Leo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Leo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And a Nine of Swords. Not a very good card, I'll be the first to admit it, but if you'll hear me out, okay? Every card has light and shadow. And I feel like you're very much capable and ready to hear the truth in your life. You're somebody that would rather get it straight forward, right? You would rather be told the absolute truth. You would rather be presented with the information in a very direct way. You don't like things to be sugar-coated. You're strong enough and confident enough in yourself to hear it and to accept it and to deal with it, right? You want someone to tell it like it is. And I appreciate that about you. And I try to do that as much as possible on this channel. I try to always tell you my interpretation of things without trying to always put a positive spin on things. So the positive aspect of this card, yeah, it is that at least you know the truth, right? At least we recognize something, and so we can deal with it and we can move on. If we don't know it's there, we can't fix it, okay? So I feel like you're somebody who, you would rather know what's going on so that you can deal with it. You would rather somebody tell you right away what they're thinking or feeling or what their truth is than to lead you on or to kind of beat around the bush or to sugarcoat it or to give any kind of false or misleading information. You want just the facts, right? And you want the bullet points of those facts. Because it doesn't need to be really an involved conversation for you. You can get the information in very short, succinct ways. You're very intuitive, right? And I think really you can read between the lines of people. Even if somebody is sugarcoating it, even if somebody is kind of just feeding you a line or leading you on, you can tell. You can tell. And it's good that you've got this Nine of Swords energy about you, because some of us, we see something sugar-coated and we're just all in. I'm grabbing it. I want it, right? Even if maybe there's something under the surface that I know I should look between the lines, but I just want that sugar. Not everybody can see that. Not everybody is willing to face those kind of cold, hard facts, right? Especially when there's a lot of sugar around. So I think this is a very important quality for you. Very, very important. I want to see where it's becoming useful in your life right now. What are we doing with this? But you're not like most people, right? Most people would tend to ignore that feeling. If it's an intuitive feeling, if it's just this kind of gut feeling, if there's something that's kind of telling you that maybe something's not what it seems, a lot of us would just kind of ignore that because we really want the good stuff, right? You're willing to see what's real, right? And I like that about you. The next card we've got, of course, is the more air energy. It's the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is your ability to accept that kind of truth, to see that, to read between the lines, or to receive the direct information. Preferably, people are just going to be honest with us, right? And this is your ability to very quickly make a decision, right? I feel like you don't have a problem changing course like suddenly if you have to. Somebody presents you with some sort of information, painful information even, really unwanted information, and you do what you need to do. There's not a lot of brooding over it, right? There's not a lot of kind of sinking down into it. It's just kind of, oh, okay. And then you go whatever direction you need to, right? But sometimes this can lead us to really not feeling that feeling. That it almost comes off as a bit of a coldness or a bit of being aloof or a bit of being superior, right? Maybe come off a little cocky sometimes because you tell me something and I'm just going to respond to it in the way that I need to, and I'm going to keep going, right? It's not going to trip me up. But does that mean that we're not feeling those feelings, right? Does that mean that we're not, that we're not hurt by things, that we don't have those emotions, right? And so I feel like what this is kind of calling for, in your case, is a reaction to something, and admitting how we feel about that, admitting that this is not a pleasant thing, that we have to, maybe we have to kind of make a very quick decision in life, that we have to suddenly change course. Well, let's admit how we feel about that, Well, let's see what's going on with some more of this energy. Let's do the next card. Now we've got the Queen of Cups here. The Queen of Cups is, all this wealth of emotion. You're somebody that really does feel all the emotion of it. And it's not that you're hiding it. It's not that you're ignoring it. It is beneath the surface, which means you're not always showing people on your face how you feel about it. Somebody gives you some bad news, and you're like that. You just kind of take it. Okay, I'll deal with it. I'll handle it. I'll do whatever I need to do. But I feel like you're a very sensitive person. But Leo, not everybody knows that about you, nor should they. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. I feel like there is a wealth of emotion in you. And I feel something's happening in your life right now where we're having to make this kind of sudden change. And we've received some sort of difficult news, and we've got to adapt to it, deal with it. We've got to roll with it. We've got to keep going. Allow yourself to feel the feelings, okay? Allow yourself to admit, like, "Ow, yeah, wow, that hurt. I don't like that. I feel a certain way about that." You don't have to tell that to the other person. You don't have to share that with anybody. It's your own private feelings, but make sure that you acknowledge that you tap into that and honor how you feel, okay? I think that you're also somebody with a very, very authentic sense of self. You know who you are. You know what you want. And because you have this kind of confidence in your own maybe life path, your own desires, your own aspirations and dreams and hopes and wishes, if somebody is telling you something or giving you some news that is contrary to your dreams and hopes and wishes and aspirations, you're almost glad to know, because then you can continue your life in pursuit of those goals and dreams and hopes and wishes, right? So when I see this underneath the surface, this is something I think that we're protecting. This is something that's really, it's a sensitive energy. You're sensitive, and this is a sensitive spot. And so, I want to know if I'm engaged with a business, with a person, a friend, a family member, a romantic partner, or any kind of project or any relationship at all with anything that is not in harmony with my goals and dreams and hopes and wishes and aspirations, right? And even if I really thought it was, like I thought this relationship was going to be the best, and we were on the same page and we were making plans and it felt good, and now suddenly you're breaking up with me, or suddenly you're telling me that you don't care about any of that stuff anymore, I'm going to be hurt, yes, but I'm going to be very glad that you told me, because otherwise I'm not, I'm not being true to what I really want for my life. Okay? And I think that's where, Leo, you get a little bit of that kind of cockiness or a little bit of that overconfident perception. People stereotype you that way because of this very real energy in you. You are very sensitive. you know, but you're going to be very happy that somebody told you the truth, because you can make the right decision now to pursue what you need to pursue in your life. And I think this is very, very good. It's a very good way to be. The Six of Swords in the previous position. I think exactly like this is happening. You have these plans, and maybe we thought that, oh, everything was going great. I'm on the right path. I know everything is like, I've got it all mapped out, right? I've got the itinerary. This is what we're going to do every day. This is the GPS coordinate, turn-by-turn directions, right? Remember that? Remember MapQuest? I used to have to print out MapQuest, turn-by-turn directions, pages and pages and pages. And I feel like this is kind of the way it was, you know, maybe, I don't know, last month, last few weeks, something like that, where we thought we had everything mapped out. And then now suddenly there is this rather shocking, it's kind of a this is Mars in Gemini, right? This is kind of a really abrupt, kind of shocking news that we're getting. And you're saying, okay, thanks for letting me know. I'm going to go ahead and readjust some of my energies. And that's what we've got here, of course, with the Prince of Swords. This is fixed air energy. A lot of court cards here up the middle here, right? So I feel that this has something to do with a group that you're involved with, friends, family members, coworkers, something, maybe a team that we put together. It could be a job. This could be another company that you're kind of... you're already making plans, right? We're counting our chickens, right, before they hatch, or whatever the phrase is. But something isn't going quite well. It doesn't really throw you off. Fixed air energy. You're still absolutely, confident. It didn't knock you off balance at all, right? It's in a way, I feel like this is you, again, being pleased in a way, being happy in a way to know the truth. I'm glad you told me now up front rather than a week, a year down the road, right? You tell me now before I really get invested, and it's no skin off my back. I'm just going to go a different direction. No big deal, right? You still feel how you feel, and I think that this is really a great sensitivity. But you're able to course correct in real time on the fly beautifully, right? Because you're never like away from yourself. You know what I mean? You always have that very solid sense of yourself. Yeah, I don't know how to describe that. Fixed air energy. It's like your mind is always anchored in something, in your purpose, your dreams, hopes, wishes, aspirations, that sort of thing. Maybe always anchored in how we feel. And maybe you've got this very strong sense of self. Yeah, the fixed air energy, the ability to stay centered even when there's quite a storm. You've got your hand on that wheel really, really tightly, but maybe not even tightly. Maybe it's just in a way that's very, very flexible, very attentive, very quick reaction time, where even you're in this terrible storm, you're able to stay straight ahead. Able to stay going true north, That's very, very good. What's in the future position? The storm. Yeah, you're able to navigate the storm in a confident way. I wouldn't be surprised if you do have some experience boating, sailing, fishing, yachting, anything like that, because I feel like you know what it's like to have to steer a ship. Have you ever, driven a boat before? It's not like a car. Car, you basically hold the wheel pretty straight and you're going to go pretty straight if your alignment's good. But on a boat, you're not on solid ground, you're on water. It's weird. It's the waves, the wind and everything. You're going in a lot of different directions. It takes a lot more movements to keep you going relatively straight. And so you're ready to navigate the storm. And you know how to do it, and you've done it before. And it in a way, it feels like, man, not a big deal, even though you feel very, very deeply and very strongly about it. It's kind of like it's par for the course, right? But I think that this card is the Eight of Cups. This is, rather than this pallor, rather than we get this news and, all the blood just kind of, rushes from your face, and we just get that pallor, that shock, I feel like that happens maybe initially in you, but before anybody else notices, we're able to kind of flip that around, and now the cups are filling back up again. Now we're getting that confidence. We're choosing to look at this situation as a glass is half full and I can fill it up, rather than the glass is half empty and it's draining even lower. It's a matter of perspective for you. It's a matter of a willed, intentional energy for you, a confidence that you can muster when you need it. So I feel like you're really able to, in whatever way you have to, find the silver lining. I feel like you're able to navigate the storm, because if this is the storm, well, then on the other side of this is going to be just sweetness, right? I feel like this is part of that pessimism versus optimism kind of thing. It's almost as if I like this really, really terrible storm because I know that it's only going to get better, right? The further away I get, I'm going to feel better and better. Like if this is the worst I feel, that's okay. Okay. I mean, I don't want to feel terrible, but I know that this is now the starting point of improvement. So now we're looking up. We're thinking of filling the cup back up rather than it's going to keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse, right? It's almost like I'm refusing to get any lower than this, And so this is a really optimistic way of looking at the world. Let's select the mystery card. Bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown, and we're going to set it over here. Frankenduck, right there on top. I hope you can think of a better name for Frankenduck. If you do, put it in the comments. If you have a prediction for that card, put that in the comments. We're going to look at that at the end of the reading, and it will hopefully tie everything together. Okay. Now we're going to talk about the path of the serpent. What is on the other side of the storm, right? As we talk about these cards, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free, helps out the channel. I appreciate that. The channel needs your support. The numbers are kind of going down a little bit, but like you, I'm choosing to say that's it. There's nowhere to go but up. And so we're trying to look at it as, well, the glass is half full, and we're going to keep filling it up. But I do need your help and your support. I really do appreciate you. Let's look at the general energy now on the path of the serpent. We've got the Five of Wands. And this is Saturn in Leo, okay? And this is really important energy for you because the one thing that I think is it's a stereotype, but I think it's very true about Leo, is that you have this ability to regulate your strength, right? It's not just kind of bursting forth from you and you just get angry and wild and just kind of out of control. We don't go from 0 to 100 and like that. We don't always cook with the burner up on high. There's a reason why there's a knob there. It goes low, you can simmer, you can do halfway. Medium high, I think, is really a popular one. That's one of your very special abilities, is to regulate the expression of your power. And I think that's the mark of true power. True power is not always having to display it. You don't always have to show how strong you are. In some ways, this is about the proper measure, the proper response, the proper action. Okay? We want our responses to be proportionate to the situation, to be appropriate to the situation. But I really feel this is about that, the projection of your power, your stature. The strongest of people never really have to show it. Right? They don't have to make a display of it. And that's part of the strength. I also think this is strength as the ability to restrain ourselves, the ability to control ourselves, the ability to say, okay, I just need the burner up at medium low today. That's the right response. Maybe there's, a lot of this energy in you wants to go to high, wants to just floor it. No, you don't. You have that control. It is that very calm assertiveness. It's that quiet strength. I think is a very, very good quality in you. And it's allowing you to have a very kind of even and proportionate and appropriate response to what the storm is. Okay. Now we've got a three of wands. The Three of Wands is kind of your compass, your moral compass almost. I think it's your ability to navigate this with a really fixed, fixed coordinates, let's say, right? And it's so in some ways this is your true north. This is you knowing what your dreams and goals and aspirations are, your hopes, your wishes. This is you knowing where you want to go and what you kind of want the result or the outcome to be of your life, right? You know what direction you want your life to go. And now with this in mind, there's a degree of tolerance, okay? We want our ship pointed at, let's say, 0 degrees, true north, right? Or I don't know if that's magnetic north, I don't know. But we know there's a degree of tolerance. We know that sometimes the ship's going to drift this way, drift that way. I mean, we're on the ocean, all right? So that's what the 3 is. It's a unity. I'm going that way, 0 degrees. But sometimes there's going to be a little bit of a wobble. Sometimes there's going to be a little bit of an up and down or a sideways motion, right? It's never a straight shot. And I think it's with this in mind, but you always have that moral compass. So you always have that kind of... you always have that certainty about which way you're going. You're okay with a little bit of fluctuation, a little bit of movement. It's to be expected. Now, if we didn't know where we were going, we had no idea of where we wanted to go, then all these storms, we would be lost at sea. But you're never lost at sea. You're in these storms. Well, it's okay. I just know I'm pointing myself back in that direction. I'll get there eventually, right? And so this is really a calm confidence, a quiet strength in you again. And this is leading you to something I think absolutely amazing. I feel like this is kind of an overnight change. I feel like this is really suddenly there is this storm, and I don't know if this is something happening now or if it is if you're just getting through it. Oh, you got the star. See, now we're kind of navigating by the stars here. This is part of your path. This is part of your destiny. And I think because you know truly who you are, you know what you're about, you know what you're capable of, you know your own strength and power. You don't have to show it. You don't have to display it, right? Because you have this inner illumination from the divine, from the spiritual realm. You've had that gnosis. You've attained a certain level of spiritual development to where you know yourself. You have the inner illumination, and that inner illumination allows you to see the path before you. Really, you're navigating by starlight here in our ship, right? And it doesn't matter. You get through the storms, it's fine. You just find the star again, and you can go. Now, what if there's clouds, right? Well, then we just kind of have to be the star, and you have to project that light outward and see where you're going. But in some ways, I almost feel as if this isn't a surprise to you. I feel like this is really a sudden change, right? 9 of Swords, it feels abrupt. It feels like this is an overnight thing. That suddenly clear skies, a minute later, severe storms. I almost feel like it's not surprising to you because you kind of saw this coming. You kind of knew, right? And that goes back to what we were saying at the beginning where you can read between the lines. So I kind of feel like this is abrupt, this is shocking, this is unexpected, but you kind of knew it was there. You saw the signs. Right? You saw that this was part of the path, okay? And maybe that allowed you to prepare ahead of time. Oh, look at that. Well, that is the superabundance. That is the sweetness, okay? And so in some ways, I'm so glad that we're having this storm now because really it's enabling you to navigate yourself closer to your dream life, closer to living your best life. This is the 9 of Cups. This is the happiness that keeps on happening. This is the dream that keeps on dreaming. This is you pursuing all of these dreams and hopes and goals and wishes and aspirations that you're so sure of. The Star card is that inner illumination. You know what you want. So you're very happy to get away from what you don't want or what you realize is not meant for you. You realize that this was not part of what you want. Okay, so this is really This is really a sweetness. You're sailing into a life that has never been so sweet. And it's because of your power, because of your optimism, because of your self-control, because of your spiritual development, because of your inner gnosis, that life has never been this sweet. So this is really a lot of progress. It's really the sunshine on the other side of this storm. I think this is fantastic. I want to look at the mystery card. What do we think this is going to be? Let's see. Maybe your power card, right? Maybe it'll be the luster strength card, the Leo power card. I want to see some land, right? We're missing something here. We don't have any earth energy. I want to see some earth energy. I want to see that we're kind of like, we're reaching the shore. We're reaching a destination. Yeah. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Well, it's a 6 of swords. This is sailing, right? This is a long-term journey. This is a long-distance travel. It could be that you're actually literally involved in some sort of voyage at this time, or that you will be soon going on some kind of long-distance trip. But I feel like this is us really able to navigate those turbulent waters, and I think we're following our heart, we're following our star. It's really a combination between the depth of your feeling, of your emotional body, and really being honest about what you want, what you don't want. You're not trying to sugarcoat things to yourself either, because you have this inner illumination, so that you're very happy to walk away from what's not meant for you and get to this land of absolute sweetness, this lovely 9 of Cups. This is fulfillment on every level, right? Physical, financial, mental, emotional, spiritual, creative fulfillment. And I mean, this is super abundance. We get something on just one of these areas, one of these planes, and we think that's good, but this is every aspect of your being. This is you pursuing that absolute ideal of that, just kind of that perfect life, that happy ending, that happily ever after, right? It's not an ending. It's a continuation. It's ongoing, right? And I feel like this is you very, very willingly, very acceptingly, very, very happily sailing away from what is not meant for you, because you're getting to what is. This is lovely. I like this one. We're going to do an extended reading too. If you want to stick around, there should be a link up top. There is one down below. New readings for Leo every Tuesday and Saturday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. Doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment for me. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. Especially if you're a new viewer. This is your first time here. Welcome. So glad to have you. I hope you'll come back. I hope you'll subscribe. Give a shout out in the comments. Let me know that you're here. Yeah. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.